Hello guys, welcome back. So today we will discuss about joint random variables, okay? Now joint random variables is not really something that we usually see around us. We have grown up seeing stuff like this, that we are seeing the probability of speed of wind speed, say, okay? It's called Rayleigh PDF for wind speed. PDF stands for probability density function. Also, we have seen the density and the movement and the probability of a single variable, okay? And that makes much more sense in the real life. We are interested in a single value, in a single variable, single random variable, and we see its distribution, okay, and its density, how it's behaving. Now, the next set of lectures will be about joint density and joint random variables, okay? So this lecture is devoted to the idea of joint random variables and where it really occurs in nature, okay? Let's try to understand this. So we have understood the density of single one variable random variables. Now we are moving on to the joint random variables, okay? So let's take this example. Is movement, the heat map, okay? So if you understand, if you see Macy's heat map, you will see that Macy is much more active over here in this region, okay? Macy is much more active, the red region. So Macy is much more active in the attacking part, okay? Attacking midfielder, the winger, the striker, and the attacker, okay? This position, naturally. And this is called the Macy's heat map. So what is the mathematical description of this? Mathematical description is this, that if you sort of visualize sort of sheet of paper moving over the board, okay? So this is the maximum position of movement, okay? So if we count the number of seconds at each place or around each position, say, we can sort of get this heat map back, okay? We can get this heat map actually. This is the actual idea. So the heat map denotes actually the idea of like how the positions of Macy in this field is distributed, okay? Let's take another example. Yes, I guess we can, yeah. So another heat map example is this. So suppose you're interested in understanding how the website visitors are actually looking into your page, where it's the most traffic, where it's actually, it's engaging them discussions, okay? So observe here that the pictures over here, there is more engagement, okay? More engagement around this region. Okay, so this makes much more sense. So this heat maps gives us a sort of distribution of where the people are going, where the people are clicking rather, okay, where the people are usually moving their mouse. Okay, so it actually gives a probability distribution. How it sort of gives an amount to each of the around interval, not each of the point, but around an interval of points where it gives an idea of measure of how much it is located over there, how much traffic is over there, okay? Something is counting. That is the idea of probability. Okay, so let's move ahead to the next part. This one. Similarly, heat map, this sort of gives an idea. This heat map is about how the fireworks are at the fireworks is activity is maximum, okay? It's done with the police, okay? And you understand that this sort of gives an idea of how it's distributed, the firework activity is distributed, okay? We will mathematically formulate this in the joint random variable course. So there's a fireworks example, okay? Where we are understanding how it's actually located, how the fireworks actually located. We have seen this. Now let's move ahead to the traffic. So you could have told me that, see, we are doing sort of continuous stuff over here. Where is the example of discrete stuff? So this is the example of discrete stuff. So observe that we have two variables, okay? One variable is the day. Another variable is the time. You can sort of understand it's discrete because it's sort of in discrete format, okay? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that sense. And observe, this sort of gives an idea of how the intensity of the traffic is. This is very critical, okay? So this can be represented as numbers, but we can divide by the whole sum to make it like the sum to be 0, sum to be 1, okay? The whole sum to be 1. That is where the PMF will come up. We'll read about PMF, probability mass function of jointly distributed function, random variables, okay? That's the idea. So this sort of gives an idea about the joint distributions of two variables. Let's see more. Let's see, this is a really interesting example. So there are three random variables. So let's take a different form of this. Let's see a different form of this one set. So we have three random variables, okay? One is the number of deaths, one is the number of like it's a category, it's a sort of say discrete part. Okay, this is the number part, numerical. This is a discrete part, okay? And this is the number, this is sort of also another discrete part. Okay, it gives a range of age. So sort of see, this is a high range of age where deaths are happening, rural and the age, okay? So it's actually a 3D, and the red denotes the intensity. Okay, actually it should be a 4D one, but here it's a 3D one. Okay, and the red denotes the color, sort of plays the role of the fourth dimension. Okay, so that's the idea. So this is sort of the sample space over here. Okay, and we are giving color codes to understand the intensity, the number over here. So this is x1, x2, x3, sort of three variables are here. So also the beauty of joint random variables is that one thing doesn't make sense. Okay, the distribution of age doesn't make sense here. The distribution of urban female doesn't make sense here. But together with the number of deaths, this random variables makes much more sense. So it is therefore important to study this kind of variables together. Okay, together. For example, the Macy's movement, the heat map on the x-axis on the vertical doesn't make sense. On the horizontal doesn't make sense. But together they makes a lot of sense. That is the beauty of joint random variables. That's why we are studying it, because it makes sense. Simple. This is another example of the 3D portion, okay? The 3D version is sort of asking, so it's same as this, okay? The same as the previous one. The 3D version is this sort of movement of particle of a fly, say, okay, in 3D space. Or the movement of, say, grasshopper, not a grasshopper, a sort of insect. So usually if you see a honeybee now, it moves towards the light, okay, more. So you can sort of plot the distribution of the movement of the honeybee, and you will see that there is a very red portion, that is a high density portion towards the light, okay. That makes sense. So this is where we can make decisions based on data. So that is the introduction to the joint random variables, where it really occurs in nature, okay. So this makes a lot of sense, because together three data makes much more, gives much more information rather than single data, okay. That is why we are interested in studying joint random variables. Now, what we will study, let's see the entire structure of the, like the mathematical structure of it. So we have a sample space. So in case of Macy's, the whole sample space was R2, okay. It can take any value. And then after sample space, we can take event. Event is a subset of the sample space, right? A good subset, that is called measurable terms of probability theory, but a good subset. And then we can assign probability on it. Naturally, we will assign probability to each of the sets, okay? Each of the good sets. So once we assign the probability, then we can find out. So we will sort of assign probability to the smallest set possible. Smallest set possible is not the unit sets, okay? That is not the smallest set. Smallest good set. Because unit set ka sum is 0, right? All of the unit set in continuous is 0. The probability of Macy being in one position is 0, okay? But the probability of Macy in a region of position is positive. So if you assign probability 0 to all of the points, you cannot make sense, because you cannot find sum of all the zeros to get something positive, okay? That's the beauty of that. That's why that's the idea of measure theory, right? It comes up, Borel sets comes up. I'm not going into those stuff, but we assign probability to good sets so that we can find this like probability of such sets, okay? Interesting sets. Suppose we want to find Macy in this region, and we want to like let some other player mark him, okay, to in that region. So we need that sort of mathematical information. Otherwise, we can't really take decisions. That's why it's important. So we find probability of the whole stuff. And then, so there, as we have understood, we have two sort of ideas. One is discrete random variables, discrete joint, and that is continuous joint. So we will study this in different manners, in different aspects. They're kind of a mixture of both. I will leave it to you. That's called mixed distributions to understand it. So for joint, we will see that we will do joint PMF, and for continuous, we will do joint PDF and distribution function. Okay, that's the plan, and then we will move ahead to much more advanced stuff, marginal and stuff like that. Very good. So I hope everything is clear with you regarding the introduction, why it's really important in our real life scenario. And see you in the next video. Stay tuned and stay blessed.